You ever have that feeling that your English sounds like it's straight out of a textbook? A little stiff, maybe? Well, today we're going to change that. We are diving into the real, everyday phrases that will make you sound so much more natural when you talk. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's think about maybe the most common question you'll ever hear. How was your day? And what's the go-to answer? Fine, thanks. And you? I mean, it's polite, sure, but it's a total conversation killer, right? It just stops everything cold. Feels a little robotic, doesn't it?
So that's what this is all about. We are going to arm you with the phrases you need to share what actually happened in your day. We're going to follow the story of a pretty typical day, from the moment you wake up till you go to bed, and we'll check out all the cool, authentic phrases you can use along the way.
All right, let's start at the beginning. The morning. You know those days when you wake up and things just don't feel right? What do you even say then?
You've probably heard this one a million times in movies or TV shows. It's just the perfect way to explain that feeling when you wake up and, you're just not in a good mood for no real reason.
Now, obviously, this is totally metaphorical. There isn't actually a wrong side of the bed. It's just a really common, kind of colorful way to tell someone you're feeling grumpy without needing a whole long explanation. Super useful.
Okay, now here's a little one that makes a huge difference. When you're taking someone somewhere, like your son to school, you drop him off. If you forget that little word off, well, it sounds like you literally let him fall. See? That one tiny two-letter word completely flips the meaning. It's crazy.
So as your day gets going, maybe you get to work and realize you have a ton of emails. You need to catch up on your emails. Notice that little word on? It's different from catching up with a friend, which is all about talking and hearing their news. Later, you might ask a coworker, hey, can you go over this report for me? And then finally, when the day is done, you don't just go home, you head home. It's a subtle difference, but head home really captures that feeling of starting the journey back.
Okay, so the workday's done. And now the way we talk kind of shifts, right? We move away from work stuff and into something way more personal, connecting with the people we care about. And this next one, this is a really important one. When you say someone opens up to you, it means they're going past all that small talk. They're sharing something real, something that makes them a little vulnerable. And honestly, that's how you build a real, genuine connection with someone.
So, how do you get someone to open up? Well, you have to create the right vibe, the right environment. You can just hang out, which is totally casual, relaxed time together. But what's even better is when you spend quality time. That's when there's no schedule, no agenda, you're just present with each other. And that is how you truly bond with someone.
Okay, listen up, because this one is so important. You absolutely have to get this one right. You put your kids to bed. That means you tuck them in, read them a story, help them go to sleep. But if you say you put your kids to sleep, oh my gosh, that is a very common, gentle way of saying you're euthanizing a pet. So yeah, a massive difference. For people, it is always put to bed. Please remember that one.
All right, the day's winding down, and now we get a whole bunch of really fun idioms about sleep. You might tell your partner, all right, I'm going to go hit the hay. It's super informal, sounds kind of old-fashioned and rustic, And the goal, of course, is to sleep like a log, just totally out, sleeping deeply. But if you're stressed or worried, you might toss and turn all night. And finally, a really sweet, warm way to say goodnight is just sleep tight.
So, we've walked through a whole typical day. But let's be real, life isn't always so routine, is it? So what happens when you do something more exciting? Let's talk about how to share your adventures, like when you go on a great trip.
So let's imagine our story starts not just with, a drive in a car. It starts with a road trip. You hear this term all the time, especially in huge countries like the United States where you drive for hours and hours.
See, a road trip isn't just about getting from one city to another. No. The journey is the destination. It's about the weird stops you make along the way, the perfect playlist, the long talks you have in the car. All of that is part of the adventure. That's the magic of a road trip.
Okay, so on this road trip, imagine you go to a birthday party, and somebody gets up and sings a totally goofy, unplanned song, and the whole room just loves it. Everyone's laughing and clapping. Well, that is a perfect example of a crowd pleaser. A crowd pleaser is basically anything you know is going to be a big hit with everyone. It could be a jaw-dropping performance, a movie that makes everybody laugh, or even that one amazing dessert that you bring to a party that everyone goes crazy for. It's such a great descriptive word to have in your back pocket.
All right, so the trip continues, and now you're at a wedding, and you look over at the dance floor, and the kids are going wild.
They're not just having a good time. They're having an absolutely amazing, energetic, super fun time.
And that's when you say they're having a blast. To have a blast just means you had an absolutely incredible amount of fun. It's so much more powerful and energetic than just saying, "Oh, I enjoyed it." It really communicates a whole other level of pure, explosive fun.
But you know how it is. All good things have to come to an end. The vacation's over, it's time to go back to work, back to school, back to all the daily chores. And that's when we sigh and say, well, time to get back to the real world. It's a little bit sad for sure, but a very, very common way to talk about the end of a holiday.
So there you have it. We've looked at phrases for a totally normal day and for a super special trip. So what's the secret here? What's the big takeaway from all of this?
Well, the secret isn't just about memorizing a list of new words. It's about using these kinds of phrases, like saying you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or that you had a blast, to share what you're really feeling, to share your actual experiences and emotions. That is how you build those deeper, more genuine connections with people. So, I've got a little challenge for you. This week, I want you to pick just one of these phrases we talked about and try to use it in a real conversation. Seriously, just one. That's how you start to make this language feel like it's really yours. So go on, get out there and have a blast with it.